Helion responds. We confirm hostile activity on the outer edges. The data sent by Miner coincides with our detections.
We are willing to participate in a multi-sectoral council.
May this be the first dialogue between our peoples, not based on despair, but on purpose.
The Bonarian attack was not isolated. Our dimensional telescopes detected similar energetic sweeps near our system.
They map, observe, test weaknesses. Alone, we are just targets.
Arian does not fear war. But I will not pretend to ignore the obvious.
A fleet like the one that attacked Velcor would reduce our shields to powder in hours.
In our case, there is another problem. Lunaris is divided into 3 major political spheres. Any decision made without unanimity can generate internal conflict.
We need guarantees to unite our own people before assuming external alliances.
Orun studied the energy signatures of the Bonarians. They are not testing.
They select targets in silence. If they have observed us, we are already late.
Talarian has industrial capacity, but not military capacity. If the attack occurs against us,
We will not survive long enough to send a distress call.
Helion maintained neutrality for centuries, but neutrality is useless when the other species doesn't recognize boundaries. The intention is simple. We do not want dominance nor control. We want to ensure that what happened to Velcor does not happen again to any of you. Miner leads because we were the first to face them and survive. That's all. And what exactly does Miner offer?
We will share secure dimensional stellar navigation routes, intelligence on Bonarian movement, and strategic support. We will not hand over weapons. It would be imprudent and dangerous at first. But we will give each world the support and means to defend themselves effectively.
And what do you ask in return?
Commitment, transparency, collaboration, and the acceptance of a central coordination point to ensure that we don't fight isolated from each other.
So,
it's more than a treaty. It's a joint construction.
Exactly. We will not just form an alliance. We will begin building the first union of free worlds.
Cian accepts the terms. If ever there was a moment to abandon isolation, it is now.
Arion will analyze the terms, but our position is clear.
We prefer union to extinction.
I will take the proposal to our Triggerverno. But personally, I know we have no other choice.
Orun agrees to participate in the construction of the initial treaty.
Talarian is going with you. It's either this or eternal silence.
Helion does not bend easily. But today, we choose to remain. Not out of fear, but out of responsibility.
We are gathered to seal the first multi-systemic pact in known history. A pact not of conquest, but of preservation. The League of Stars exists to ensure the survival, freedom, and development of the worlds that compose it. When one is threatened, all will respond.
Solidarity. What was missing against the Bonarians?
Let it be recorded. Aurum accepts. But we demand prior notice before any direct intervention.
It will be guaranteed. There is no talk of intervening in another world and its laws, and this treaty is in defense of our galaxy. Minor releases, under controlled protocol, its stellar dimensional navigation matrix. Any dimensional or stellar attack against one member will be considered an attack against all. Cian, Arian, and Lunaris will integrate their scientific databases into the joint research nucleus. We want access to Minor's energy library as part of this agreement. Granted, it is a pleasure to share this with you. The Council shall be composed of representatives from each member world, with rotating chairs and an alternating presidency.
Talarian wants guarantees of equal voting rights, regardless of size or power.
Absolute equality. That is the foundation. The use of dimensional technologies for unilateral offense is strictly prohibited. It is permitted only for defense or humanitarian aid missions.
Arion accepts, but we want a joint audit.
An audit will be created. New planets can request entry, provided they share the principles of this treaty and contribute to stellar balance. And let it not be a refuge for hostile powers.
It will be so. All who request entry to the League must explicitly state their intentions.
For the future of free peoples, the League of Stars is founded.
Excellency, we have received an intercepted transmission that an external world is under attack.
Which world are we talking about?
A world where they claim to be human and call their planet Earth.
Gentlemen, the treaty hasn't even cooled down, and we are already being tested. Send the ships under Gordon's command. It's the closest squadron we have. The League of Stars will send help. Today, we will define who we really are.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Parliament, today we have seen what the Bonarians are capable of doing when they encounter a defenseless world.
Earth had no means to fight. It had no orbital defenses, and yet it resisted. They resisted with what they had: courage and sacrifice. If the Bonarians attacked Earth, it's not for territory. They test, they measure, they observe who should be erased first. Earth was just their message. No young world will survive alone. May this session mark the beginning of a single resolution to protect every world under the banner of the League, whatever the cost. Now, this decision rests in the hands of the parliamentarians.
I conclude my speech here. Thank you all very much.
He's absolutely right.
Space isn't a battlefield. It's a mirror. And when we look at it, we discover who we truly are. Today, I'm not asking you to trust me. I'm asking you to look up and decide if you want to continue on your own.
I see that our country should not be left out of this battle. I see that the majority forms a consensus for this.
But I come to the conclusion that we cannot force men and women
young people and adults. By risking their lives, they will be free to choose whether or not to go to war in favor of our galaxy. And I will speak to other leaders about what I heard here, and I will also request the construction of a large training center and even a space station close to our planet. Finalizing the work, and I congratulate you gentlemen on the great decision we had today that will forever change the way we see the universe. And it's just been confirmed. Congress has approved by 62% of votes the country's entry into the so-called League of Planets. The agreement provides for scientific cooperation, cultural exchange, and, according to the president, complete freedom of individual membership. The reactions are immediate. In the streets, protests and celebrations mingle. Religious groups call the decision interplanetary blasphemy, while universities announce queues for first contact and dimensional study programs. Posters among the crowd saying, "No to the cosmic pact. We want to understand before entering. The Earth is also a star." Now, let's go to the streets and show people with written signs.
Demonstration with signs saying, "No to the cosmic pact.
We want to understand before entering.
The Earth is also a star."
And we've finished another edition, and we'll be back tomorrow with more news about this alliance between Earth and the stars. See you later.
Hello, Gordon. Pleasure to see you again, now as allies.
May this new phase between our peoples be worthy of what we strive to achieve.
Good to see you again. Only now, side by side, Pumas as allies, not just acquaintances. Finally, time has worked in our favor.
Gordon, a curiosity. Tell me, Kurede, I'm still intrigued by how fast your ships crossed space.
No earthly calculation could explain something like that. How do they achieve such acceleration without breaking known laws?
Time is not what defines the path, but rather the point of convergence between dimensional frequencies.
It's not exactly speed, Captain. It's dimensional displacement. The equations are based on units you don't use. When we master this, distance ceases to exist as you understand it. So, you don't travel faster. You just go from being here to being there. Almost that, Octavius. It's not speed in the sense of you know it. We do not overcome distance. We simply travel by a means where it has another value.
Dimensions have their own densities, and moving between them, space reacts differently. It's physics, but not yours.
Come, Octavius. It's easier to see than to explain.
These are dimensional pathways. Each color represents a different space density. And that's why we call it dimensional speed.
But Gordon, these lines, they're not fixed routes, are they?
A good metaphor. And sometimes every commander needs to feel when space changes density. You'll learn.
No computer understands this, as well as a trained instinct. So this is how you cross galaxies in hours.
We don't cross, Octavius. We just pass where the path is shorter. Look, Octavius. Each stream you see here is a dimensional layer, a medium with its own density and time. When we enter this ocean,
We do not jump between realities. We sail within them.
So the journey is continuous. You do travel the route, but in an environment where the metrics are different.
Exactly. The ship adjusts its resonant frequency to align with the local density. When we do this, spatial resistance drops, and the distance/time relationship changes. It's not a leap, it's a crossing, where space becomes fluid. A true dimensional navigation. This explains why displacement doesn't break the laws of physics.
So they just reconfigure themselves depending on the environment. Is that right, Gordon?
Yes, Octavius. That's why we call it dimensional speed.
There is no absolute value. Each path has its own constant, shaped by the field in which it travels.
So speed isn't what changes. It's the universe that changes around it.
Exactly, Captain. The real movement is that of space, not of the ship.
Amazing. You sail as if the universe were a living sea.
Every route changes. Every layer reacts. And yet they achieve stability.
Exactly, Captain. The real movement is that of space, not of the ship.
It's not simple. Space doesn't like to be crossed. Each crossing requires tuning. A phase error,
and you may emerge centuries away from your intended point, or in a time that does not yet exist.
In a time that doesn't yet exist, it's very difficult to happen, but it can.
Even so, it's a risk I'd take. To imagine traveling the stars not as a limit, but as a path. It's what every explorer dreams of since they first looked at the sky.
And one day, perhaps, it will be natural to all of your kind. Dimensional knowledge is more than technique, it is perception. When you understand space as something alive, you will be ready to traverse it.
When that day comes, I want to be the first to cross on my own. Not as a passenger, but as a captain.
I don't doubt it, Octavius. Most people try to understand the dimensions with their minds, and you observe them instinctively. That's rare.
Thanks for showing me this, Gordon. If there's ever a course on learning to feel space, save me the first seat.
When the time comes, Captain, space will find you.
Earth was attacked by unknown enemies. The League of Planets intervened, offering help without demanding anything in return. Governments were suspicious, but some cities created preparatory schools. Octavius applied, the first human accepted into the League.
Welcome.
Today marks a new beginning. Welcome to the preparatory school. Welcome to the League of Planets.
The League sent its best pilots and leaders to teach us essential physics, chemistry, and space travel.
Within the Galactic Academy, every detail is designed to inspire and educate the next generation of defenders.
Representatives, the Earth is positioned in a rare dimensional intersection.
A dock here would reduce navigation time between 4 sectors of the League by 37%.
You want to build this next to our planet? Building, no. Anchoring. Earth will be the logistical center of our stellar frontier.